Okay, good evening. How's everybody doing today? Great. So this is Blue Table Talk, and I'm your host, Deborah Jones. As always, we have an exciting night tonight. We have a health coach on here tonight. So before I introduce her, I'm going to just let you know that always that COVID is still out. I was just talking with one of my best friends, and she said she was involved, well, came close to someone who had COVID. And so, like I said, let's keep our masks on, our hand sanitized, and keep our distance. So that just makes sense. So not only is COVID out, we also have monkeypox. I was listening on the radio and I saw where Mariah Carey was going through the audience, and so somebody kissed her on the cheeks, and she was like, "No, it was Alicia Keys. I'm sorry, Alicia Keys going through the audience. Somebody kissed her on the cheeks. She's like, what? And but with that monkeypox, like, you just cannot do that. So y'all, do the same thing you've been doing. Just keep your distance and everything. So tonight we have a health coach, a nutritionist, and so last week we had a personal trainer and a choreographer. So this week we have our health coach, Phyllis Chalk. How you doing, Phyllis?
I'm doing well. How about you, Miss Jones?
Yes, Peachy girl. It's been a minute since I've seen you.
It's been a minute.
So you're looking great. You're looking great. But I've been watching you on Facebook about your weight loss and everything. And so I was like, oh, okay. So I didn't know you had gained weight to even to lose the weight. So
Well, COVID made a lot of us gain weight.
yeah, we just sit at home and just start put stuff in our
Eating
mouth and not flushing it out. So
comfort foods.
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Look, tell us a little bit about yourself, just a tad bit about you and your accomplishments.
Okay. Well, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Phyllis Chalk, and I've been here in the Beaumont area for about 13 years. I'm a retired educator. I taught for 35 years. I was a collegiate athlete. So, me being a collegiate athlete made me go along the trek of wanting to know more about fitness and weight loss, nutrition, and just staying healthy. But after I retired in 2021, during the time of the pandemic, then I wanted to know some things that I could do to just touch others. And with me gaining weight and with me being health conscious, I couldn't talk about health and have problems with my health as well. So then I needed to do some things to uh, make sure that I was where I needed to be in order to help others. So that's where and how I got on the track to being more conscious about nutrition as well as the personal training side of it. I've always personal trained and I've done that for about 40 years, but then now I've really gotten into the nutritional aspect of it because as when we're younger, we're able to do those things to stay fit and maintain and not always eat the way we need to.
Right.
So now because I'm older, I'm having to make sure that both those things parallel. Not only do I have to be physically fit, but I also have to make sure that my nutrition lines up with what's going on as I age.
Right, right, right. Girl, you don't look a day over beautiful. So
Oh, thank you. You've always been so sweet.
y'all hear that? I've been sweet.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So what made you decide to just go into the career of nutrition?
Well, the nutrition part of it for me is I needed to do something for my own health, and as I said earlier, as you get older, your metabolism slows down. And when your metabolism slows down, that means that you either need to adjust how you're eating, exercise more, eat less, and make sure that whatever you're putting in your body agrees with you so that you won't gain weight. And that was one of the problems that I had. As I got older, I continued to work out, but I wasn't working out enough to offset the amount of food that I was eating. So not only was I working out, I didn't see any results with me working out and keeping the weight off.
Mm-hmm.
So then I needed to make sure that I found a plan that worked for me. And that's what I did. I made sure that, and we go through all of these changes with our bodies where you do the intermittent fasting or you do other kinds of supplements or things that you think that's going to help you to lose that desired amount of weight. But then if it's not lifelong, then you ended up, the weight comes back on you. You know,
Right.
we've heard about the keto and we've heard about the 20-30. We've heard about all kinds of other dietary options that really doesn't work for you. And that was the problem I had. They weren't working for me. So then I needed to find something that was going to help me get to where I needed to be. And that was eating every 2 to 3 hours, making sure that what I was eating was agreeing with my body,
Right.
especially with issues with high blood pressure and diabetes and all those other things that as we get older
Mm-hmm.
start affecting our body, autoimmune disorders, you know. So there were a lot of things that made me want to make sure that what I was doing was beneficial for me, and making sure that the foods that I ate uh, didn't have a lot of inflammation that caused inflammation within your body. And with autoimmune disorders and with high blood pressure issues, then you deal with inflammation and other things to go along with that.
Right. So you're saying that just because we exercise, do our physical exercise, we still need to watch what we eat. Is that what you?
Well, yes. And as you, when you're younger, you don't have that problem. You know, your metabolism is going. You can get away with cheating on eating more of the wrong kinds of foods. But as you get older, you got to really watch what you eat.
Right.
And one of the things that I've learned that as I've gotten older and as I'm entering my 60s, uh, is not how you exercise. You lose weight in the kitchen and you tone in the gym.
Right.
But when you're younger, you can tone in the gym and continue to keep the weight off of you. But as you get older, that dynamic has changed a bit. And so that was the case with me. Uh, and I didn't want to continue to go to the gym and spin my wheels and
Right.
stay there for an hour
Exactly.
and a half and not lose the weight that I wanted
Exactly.
to.
Right. So you, like I say, we just toning up over there. That not just losing the weight, you know.
Right.
So yeah, a lot of people don't see it that way. A lot of people say, okay, well, I exercise all the time, and you already know I'm an exercise fanatic. I
Right.
love to exercise, but as far as losing the weight part of it, now I do lose weight with just
Mhm.
exercising because I'm gonna let you know I'm not a person that not gonna put that food to the side. I'm gonna eat that food.
Yeah, and I know you exercise hard.
Yeah, and I exercise and I do lose weight, but still I'm a diabetic.
Right.
So my diabetes is still affecting me because I'm not doing what I should do.
Mm-hmm.
And so I need to, and you know, the doctor gives you all kinds of, because you have this nutritionist, and the doctors give you all types of stuff to not do, don't do this, don't do that. But I'm like a deaf ear.
Mm-hmm.
I hear it, but I don't apply it. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? So I need to do something whereas I apply what I hear and exercise. As a matter of fact, when I leave you tonight, I'm going to exercise.
Right.
You know, so
And the exercise is really beneficial, but a lot of times what we choose to do is we think that by exercising and spending all of that time exercising and then not eating right,
right.
you can get away with things, but it doesn't. It
Yeah,
eventually
right.
catches up
Exactly.
with you.
Yeah.
The wear and tear that I had on my knees, it was unbearable. And I had gone from doctor to doctor, you know, with arthritis in my knees from
Right.
playing years and years of athletics and being a physical education teacher.
Mm-hmm.
Then you go from one place to the other and they give you these medications just to patch up what you're doing, but it really doesn't help to clear up the problem.
Right. Right.
You know, so then you need to start looking at how can I lose this weight that take all of the pressure off of my knees to eliminate the inflammation and then to improve my health without having to take all of those different medications. And you
Right.
know that when you're taking certain medications, you take one medication and then you go to the doctor for a side effect for another.
Mm-hmm.
so it just continues to snowball, and then your health continues to get worse because you're not doing those things to just eliminate the need to have the medication in the first place.
Right. Right. So
And so
I'm sorry.
that's what I decided to do, is to look at what I needed to do nutritional wise to
Right.
help me with my overall health.
Right. And all of us are guilty. All of us are guilty about that. Our nutrition and what we eat, and what really what time we eat it. You know what
Right.
I mean? So, by you being a nutritionist, what aspects do you feel are most important to address when consulting with a client or someone?
With me, with a client, is what's your why? My biggest question is, why do you want to change how you're eating? Not just I want to eat right. A lot of times we do things for a season, or
Mm-hmm.
we do it because we're preparing for a wedding. We want to lose that 10 or 15 pounds to get in an outfit for a wedding,
Right.
or we're planning to go on vacation, so we want to lose that weight. But we've got to make nutrition a lifelong exercise, a
Mm-hmm.
lifelong thing. It can't just be temporarily. It has to be something that we're willing to do and to adjust for the duration of our life. And
Right.
if we're not willing to do that, then we're going to continue to go back to, I lost 15 pounds. A month later, I've gained it all back. Or I get on this quick fix diet, and it gets me where I want to be for that short term, but we need to look at this as a permanent fix. And
Right.
until we get it between our ears to let us actually soak in the need to do something for a permanent, lifelong cause, then we're going to struggle with our yo-yo effects of weight loss and nutrition.
Right. Let me talk to the viewers right now. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to Blue Table Talk. I need you. What I need you to do? I need you to, because I'm seeing who's on the page, but I need you to come off the phone wise and go on to the comment side of the page and just say hello to Phyllis Chalk, who's our nutritionist tonight. And I know you're gonna want to ask questions later, so you can already be there. Hey, Maxine, how you doing? Thank you for coming on. And then don't forget to hit that share button, because sharing is caring, and we want to let everybody know that we're here tonight to exercise our eating habits. Not on that, see what we can do as far as, like I said, she's a physical trainer, so a personal trainer, so she knows all about that. She knows all about the training part, and she knows about the nutrition part. So come on the comment side, just say hello to Phyllis and me,
Mhm.
and we're gonna, we're gonna continue to run the show. Okay, so how do you evaluate your clients?
First of all, if a client is interested in coming to me and and they're serious about their nutrition and their weight loss, then I ask them, why do you want to do it? How much weight do you want to lose? I need to know your health history, what's going on with your health. If you've got some underlying health issues that you share with me, then I want you to go and talk to your healthcare provider and let them determine whether you are a person who is able to come and do the program that I'm doing. And if you just tell me, oh, I've got diabetes, and a lot of people have issues with diabetes, or they have issues with heart disease, then I'm not going to just take what you've shared with me about your heart disease or your health issues. I want you to go and talk to your doctor and let your doctor see if you're a candidate to even follow the program that I'm doing and the regimen that I'm using to help you, because uh, first of all, your health is more important than anything.
Mm-hmm.
And just because you tell me that, oh, I'm fine, I'll be good with this, no, I don't want that. I want you to be able to go to your doctor, and that's with anything. That's with uh,
Right, exactly.
finding a personal trainer or going to a gym. You need to make sure that your doctor has given you the green light to
Right.
be able to go into the gym and do some things, because I've seen so many clients and so many people who decide that they're going to go into a gym and try different things, and then I see how it sets them back because they've made wrong choices with either the kind of workout that they're doing or the kinds of nutrition plan that they're following.
So you do collaborate with the physician.
I think it's very important that you collaborate
Okay.
with the
So
physician, and I expect the client themselves to go and talk personally with their physician
mhm,
about what they're planning to do, because a lot of times when you're talking about nutrition and foods and exercise, sometimes certain kinds of nutritional plans may not interact well with the kind of medications that one is taking.
right.
And so if they're trying something, or if they're doing a high protein diet and they've got renal disease or certain kinds of other issues with their kidneys, then a high protein diet may not be the kind of diet that is the nutritional plan that's best for them.
Tell us about the program that you offer.
The program that I offer is a program that is a plan where it causes you to eat 6 times a day, and you're eating small portions of meals 6 times a day, no more than 100 to 110 calories at a time. And
Hmm.
with this, you have bars, you have protein shakes, you have crunchers, things that, because we're eliminating a lot of the carbs out of your diet. Is certainly not a no carb diet, but
Right.
it's a balance between the proper amount of protein, the proper amount of fats, and the proper amount of carbs. You are eating every 2 to 3 hours. And by eating every 2 to 3 hours, you are putting your body into a fat burn mode. You are not going through an intermittent fasting where it's a starvation mode, but your body is letting your brain know that I'm eating every 2 to 3 hours. And because I'm eating every 2 to 3 hours, then I don't have to store the food that I'm eating as fat. I can continue to burn the food that I'm eating. And then this is what's helping a person to lose the weight. You're making sure that you're staying hydrated with at least 64 ounces of water a day. And that's what we start with. Normally, what we want a person to do is to drink half their body weight in ounces. That's normally the rule of thumb, but most people don't like drinking a whole lot of water. So by doing this, we're drinking at least 64 ounces, we're eating every 2 to 3 hours, and we're eating a lean protein and 3 vegetables per day. And those vegetables are non-starchy vegetables that will help us to burn the fat that we need. And
Right.
that's how we lose the weight, because we are staying under 1,600 calories per day. And most of the time, people who gain weight, they're eating more than they should in calories per day.
Right. So how long did it take you to lose the weight? Because you said you were, by COVID you
Right.
were, you ate a lot and stuff like that. Then you started losing your weight. So how long did it take you to lose it?
I started this journey on April the 25th. I'm sorry. And then from April the 25th until now, it took me that long to lose about 32 pounds.
Okay.
And with that, uh, what was my why is that I had gone on a cruise in March, spring break, and took a picture and saw the picture of myself and decided that it was time for me to do something.
Right.
And so once I started this plan, the eating every 2 to 3 hours and staying hydrated with at least 64 ounces of water, and then eating one lean and green protein a day, it took me the first 30 days, within that first 30 days, I lost about 12 pounds.
Oh, okay.
And so it was a gradual process. And over this time of losing the weight, not only was I losing the weight, I was also losing inches.
Right.
And
Right.
so I did my measurements and made sure that when I started the journey, I took a before picture and I took an after picture. Well, the before picture, and then the next week I compared the two pictures
Mhm.
just to see where I was. And I continued to do this each week. And then I also found one of my outfits that I had outgrown, put it to the side, and that was my focus, or my motivator to do that. But to say from April to now, I've lost about 33 pounds.
Wow.
April the 25th
That's April this year.
of this year.
Wow.
So it was not, it was gradual, but it was a steady loss. I think I lost about 2 pounds per week. Uh, if I had to compare, and then it was not always 2 pounds. If I weighed one week, I may be down 4 ounces or down a pound. Then I wanted to know what I was putting in my body to cause me to go up or down on the scale, because the scale continues to fluctuate. But the scale is not the only deciding factor as to whether you're successful on a program.
Right.
You know, women tend to think that the scale is their motivator, but the scale is not always that. You know, it's how healthy you are. When I continued to lose the weight, and then I went back to my doctor, and then they told me that they're now ready to take me off of blood pressure medication. That's the win for me.
So you're not on blood pressure medication anymore?
I was taking two blood pressure pills. And when I went back to the doctor in at the beginning of August, my doctor took me off of one of the blood pressure pills, and then she wanted me to keep a journal for this second one, monitor my blood pressure before I take my blood pressure pill, just to see where I am. And then I'll be going back to the doctor, and then she will talk about taking me completely off of this other one, or to cut that medication in half.
Right.
And right now my medication is staying at a place where I don't even need it, because I'm eating right. I'm putting the proper nutrients in my body.
Right.
And now I'm exercising with it.
Right. Guys, look, like I said earlier last week, I had Lauren Ashley, Caleb on the podcast, and she was talking the same thing that Miss Phyllis Chalk is talking about right now. She was on high blood pressure medication, and by her eating right and exercising, she got off. And she mentioned one thing that Phyllis just mentioned: water.
Yes.
Water. That you have to drink that water. And I don't know about everybody else here, but I am a fanatic about not drinking enough water.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I exercise all the time, but I'm not drinking that water. Or if I drink the water, I put something into it, like a powder and everything, so I can drink it so it can taste good for me. And I need something that's going to be sweet in my mouth.
Yeah.
And I know it's wrong, but I just continue to do it.
And it does. The water does make a difference. And it's, if a person gets into the habit of drinking their water, they'll see where it starts making the biggest difference within their body, with how you're flushing all those impurities out of your system.
Exactly.
But so many people choose to supplement their water with other things like the Crystal Light or different other things that they can put into their body that have hidden sugars in them.
Right. Let me go to my viewers, because Maxine asked a question. Thank you, Maxine, for asking questions. And if you guys make sure you come on the comment side of the page so that you can ask questions as well to Miss Chalk, and because we're talking about nutrition and nutrition and a personal trainer, exercising. So let's see what Maxine has to say. Maxine says, I would like to know what a person with kidney disease, guess with kidney disease, what do with exercise or nutrition, or how will they eat right? What? I don't know what, because she didn't finish it out. So Maxine, go ahead and finish what you want to say. Okay, she said, what type of nutrient diet should a person with kidney disease?
I think a person that has kidney disease, they need to make sure that they limit their sodium intake.
Yeah.
They need to make sure that their proteins, the meats that they're consuming are kept to a minimum. They need to also make sure that they're drinking plenty of waters to stay on the safe side. But and they need to also consult with their doctor to make sure that whatever nutrients they're putting in their body is not offsetting the medications that they're taking. So limit your protein, make sure that you limit your sodium intake, and make sure that you eat a lot of green leafy vegetables.
Mm-hmm. So with that being said, you do incorporate eating right and exercising.
That is so important. And you can eat right or you can exercise all day, but if you're not eating right, you're spinning your wheels.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people don't realize that. A lot of people think that they can exercise, and because they're exercising, then they can go and eat whatever they want to eat. But it's not the case. It first needs to be eat right and then exercise. And then if you do those two in that order, you'll see better results.
Right. And Maxine says, her why I'm at the point of stage 3 kidney diet. That's why I asked that question. That's her why.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
And my why for my son who had gained a lot of weight, and he has a problem in his on his dad's side with renal disease.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, you need to make sure that you're not overweight. And if you can keep that weight off of you, that's a plus for you, because the more weight you have on you, the more problems you have with high blood pressure. And
Right.
we know that when we're dealing with high blood pressure issues, it also affects our kidneys.
Right.
So if we can make sure that we are in the range that we need to be as far as our healthy BMI,
Mm-hmm.
that will also help to improve your blood pressure. And we know that sometimes it's just hereditary.
Right.
Genetics is going to cause you to have high blood pressure issues. But just because a person deals with the genetic part of high blood pressure within their family does not mean that they have to deal with those issues. We know that by doing the things that we need to do as far as exercise and eating right, that can also help us to offset the issues that we have with high blood pressure and kidney disease.
I know when not when I first became a diabetic, but during the course of my diabetes, the doctor always told me, he always looked at me, he says, your weight is okay. Lose that stomach.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, why can't you tell me to lose my stomach? I never really had a big stomach, but they don't want any fat on their stomach. And I was wondering, so what would you address a person with type 2 diabetes?
Same thing, limit your sugar intake and make sure.
I have to have a 3 Musketeer bar every day. I'm just kidding.
And most people who are dealing with diabetes crave those sugars.
You should crave the sugar.
And because they crave those sugars, then that's what's causing the problems with your A1C and those other levels to go up. And that's why, even if you're craving something, make sure that it's sugar free. Make sure that even if it's fruit, because we know that fruit have a lot of hidden sugars within them. So even if you're going to eat sugars, if you had to choose between Three Musketeer and a fruit, then choose from the berry family, different kinds of berries, and make sure that if you are to eat sugars, eat them in moderation and not on the evening side when it's time to go to bed. A lot of times we see that people who are dealing with issues with their stomach, and we all see that that's the first place a lot of people gain weight. And most of the time, the weight gain that you see within your stomach is attributed to high blood pressure and diabetes.
Diabetes, yeah. So if I join your program, your nutrition program, how will you monitor my progress about the program?
When a person joins the program, first of all, they've got to consult with their doctor.
Right.
And I stand by the program and I share that information with them, and I let them take this information to their doctor and say, hey, this is what it is. And the things that the nutrients that are in these bars and shakes is proven, it's
Mhm.
scientifically proven. It is something that is scientifically based to make sure that it falls within the guidelines of a person who's dealing with diabetes, a person who is dealing with gluten-free issues, those who have allergens to different things. There are probiotics and the proper amount of vitamins and the proper amount of nutrients within them that will help them to stay within a healthy realm as they're on this program. I consult with them twice a week. Every Thursday is a weigh-in day. They've got to share with me their measurements, how they're doing. But then there's one time a week, they can call me anytime or text me, but one time a week I have a conversation with them and they share with me what they're doing on this plan, what they're eating, which choices of the vegetables they've chosen, their proteins from there are three different categories of the protein. There's a lean protein, a leaner protein, and the leanest. And the leanest protein, they're able to eat at least 6, 7 ounces.
Mhm.
If it's leaner, then they're able to eat 6 ounces. And then
Mhm.
if it's a lean protein, then they're able to eat 5 ounces. And so they have to choose from those, and then I send them choices. So on any nutritional plan, you're learning about choices. You're learning about a different way of thinking and a different way of eating.
Mhm.
And with these, because I'm not going to be here with you always, we're changing our mindset.
Right.
And as we change our mindset, then we change our habits. And we know that habits, it takes time for our habits to change. I think it
Mhm.
takes 21 days to change a habit. So it is not going to happen overnight with
Yeah.
what they're doing.
We want a quick fix.
Right. And everybody wants a quick fix, but there is not a quick fix. And it's going to take some effort
Right.
into what we're doing. And a lot of people, because they work and they stress, they are stressful eaters. They want comfort foods. When we get stressed, we tend to choose those comfort foods like
Right.
the chips, or we tend to choose the candy bars and those other things. And we'd rather choose those instead of a healthy nutritional food
Mhm.
to help us. But we should not eat. We shouldn't live to eat. And that's what we do. A lot of people live to eat. We shouldn't live to eat. We should eat to live.
Mhm.
And once we change that paradigm shift and just learn how to eat to live, then we'll see better results.
Right. Right. So you will keep in contact. Somebody wants to know, which is Maxine. Maxine wants to know. So she said she needs to see a nutrition, but she also wants to know if where can she see you? Do you have an office?
I don't have an office. With the pandemic, most people are working out of their homes. I would love to speak with her and talk with her personally. She and I can speak and talk regarding what I do and how I
Mhm.
do it. And then that way I would get to know a little more about her and her, what she's planning and what her goals are, how much weight she wants to lose. First of all, I want to know how tall you are, how old you are, your gender, just your health issue, and those things. And then I have a whole checklist. And this checklist is like an awakening. And on this checklist, uh, some of the things I ask is to tell me about your health. Do you have any allergies or medical conditions? And then once she go through that with me, then I can better personalize this program to her. I'd love to hear what you would like to accomplish with your health.
Right.
For just because a person tells me that, oh, I just want to lose 15 pounds to get into this dress, to me, that's temporary.
Right.
What I want to know is something long term that you're
Right.
planning to do, a lifelong change that you're planning to make
Right.
so that it can help you for the long haul, not just something just for a couple of weeks. I want to know what motivated you to get to this point. And I know she said she talked about kidney issues.
Mm-hmm.
Well, kidney issues will make you decide that, hey, there are some things that I need to change to
Right.
better my health. And because I have those kidney issues, we know that something caused you to get there, and it could have been something that was genetic, or it could have been something with just choosing wrong habits over a long period of time. So then we need to start thinking about how can we change that. And
Mm-hmm.
then once we get to that point, then I think we could better plan out something that would better help her.
What is your phone number?
My phone number is 903
Okay. Okay.
720 8536. And that's still my East Texas phone number. A lot of times when I call people from this 409 area, they think that I'm a bill collector. No, I'm not a bill collector. I'm just still have my number from there. So yes, the number is going across the screen.
Yes. And so they can call you
Anytime.
anytime. Okay, we could like 2 o'clock in the morning.
Well, no, we won't call at that time because I won't remember you at that time. So you can
Just
call anytime during the day.
right,
Uh,
right. And
and
then you can talk to them and help them to get on the program.
right.
Or
And share information with you
yeah,
about the program. I don't ever try to strong arm anybody into. I think that once you hear the program and how it works, then you will be able to decide for yourself after consulting with your doctor if this program is one that will work for you. But
so
all I can tell you about myself is that uh, I had tried a lot of different things, and I tried the keto, and I was like, I know that the keto was not a program that I agree with. Although keto helps people lose a lot of weight,
mm-hmm.
and you can lose that weight rapidly, it was never a program that I bought into. I didn't buy into it because it was a lot of fat that you're putting into your body. And some of those fats were not always the healthier of the fats. So
Right.
you're eating all these fats and you're losing the weight and you're looking great, but now you're on cholesterol medication. Or now you're dealing with issues with heart disease. And so as we choose a nutritional program, we need to decide on how that program can actually work for us and be beneficial
Right. Right.
without having other issues that you have to tag along with that because of wrong choices.
Right. Teresa says her problem is not her hips and butt. No, my problem is my hips and butt, not my stomach. So
And but we all have problems, and God designed us all differently.
right.
And because he designed us differently, we all have problem areas that we have to deal with. A lot of people think that you can isolate a body part and you can target that body part, but you've got to work the whole body when you're working with trying to get into shape or to lose weight.
Right.
Although it may be your hips or it may be your butt, you are focusing on your whole body, your overall appearance.
Mm-hmm. The total body.
And when we exercise, your body is like a piece of clay. And because it's like a piece of clay, you can mold it and shape it in the way you want to by doing certain exercises. But even when you're doing that, it's still the overall body that you're working on.
So what exercise do you incorporate in fitness?
The exercises that I incorporate are cardio. I make sure that I do some cardio.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was younger, I could go into the gym and stay on a treadmill for an hour and do my walking or do my running or do those exercises or a Stairmaster, but you don't need that much exercise. The American Heart Association says that you need to do at least 30 minutes of exercise a day. And if you do at least 30 minutes a day, you can do that. That's cumulative. If you go to the store, park out further. Don't try to find that parking spot up close to the door.
Right. Right.
Park out and then walk. So there are exercises that you're able to do. Now, there are plyometrics and different exercises to make sure that your body is staying in an aerobic state for 2 minutes or longer. But then when we do those exercises, we need to make sure that those exercises are exercises that we can do that don't cause problems for our knees. I used to be able to run and do the Stairmaster, but my knees, I'm bone on bone now from being a collegiate athlete. So now I have to be careful about the kinds of exercises that I do.
Mm-hmm.
I think that as you get older, you need to do a lot of stretching exercises because the issues that as we get older, we start dealing with arthritis.
Yeah,
We need to make sure that we stretch a lot.
right.
And those exercises are beneficial for us so that we don't start having the curvature of our spine. You know, when we go get our bone density test, we need to make sure that we're doing those exercises that will help us with that. You know, because as we age, we get to the point where we're not able to touch our toes just by standing. And I know Miss Jones, you're still doing the Zumba and all of that. So yeah, you're staying in shape with that. But the majority of women are not stretching like we should. And if you're not,
I found out that when I stretch early in the morning, I feel. I mean, it affects my mind. I feel a whole lot better. I can think more. So when I get out of bed, I just start stretching. I'll get on that floor and stretch, or I'll go against the wall and do some stretching. But I find it helps me a lot.
it is so beneficial to do that, but the majority of us don't do that.
Right.
And I'm one of those that was guilty of when I was younger. And as much as I love going to the gym and doing the aerobic classes, and when we did, as soon as they were done and it was time for the stretching, I was the first one to leave. And that is sad to say. But it's the truth. Yeah. But now, you know, I'm worried about now trying to stretch and make sure that I still have the elasticity in my bones,
right,
so that when you have a fall, you don't break something.
Right.
And that's what happens as we continue to get older.
Right.
We haven't done those exercises, and now we're paying the price for it.
Right. Right. Because I had several falls a while back, but I was fine after they said, well, you didn't break anything or this and that. I'm like, what? Good. I mean, good.
Right.
But I was wondering why, because you exercise.
And that's important. The exercise is key.
Right.
So for people don't have to run to exercise. A lot of times we think that, running makes us look like we're in better shape. Mm-hmm. But if you're overweight, it's putting a whole lot of stress on your knees and your back and on your joints. And you're getting the same benefit from walking.
Well, can you just wear pads on your knees and stuff like that no?
No, even if I wear pads on my knees, my favorite exercise is jump roping. Mm-hmm. But if I got out and I start jump roping today, remember I told you that I'm bone on bone. So if I start jump roping today, mm-hmm, when it's time for me to get up in the morning, I would not be able to walk on my knees. That's the severity of the wear and tear that I've had with my knees. Wow. But I can tell you this, that since I've lost the 32 pounds, my knees don't hurt like they used to. Mm-hmm. I don't have the stress with my knees. I had an appointment this spring scheduled to go to the Fundren Clinic, mm-hmm, so that they could see what I needed to have done to my knees, because I've gone here to see doctors here in the area, and all they've done is therapy, patch it up. Mm-hmm. Your insurance is going to make sure that you've exhausted all other measures before they even consider a surgery.
Right, right.
It wasn't until I lost that weight that now I'm not even talking about going to a doctor about my knees. My knees don't hurt anymore.
Right.
I still know I need to make sure.
That was a quick fix.
Where are you saying? I didn't hear you.
That was a quick fix.
Losing the weight was a quick fix.
Yeah.
Yes, it was. And it was a quick fix that didn't allow anything invasive to go into my body. Mm-hmm. It was a lifestyle change. And even with that, I know that when I do develop problems with inflammation and other issues, it's because of the kinds of foods that I've included in my body.
Right. Right.
So it's just things that we have to be mindful of and choices that we make. And sometimes things that may taste good going in our mouth, it may not be something that is beneficial to our overall health.
Right.
And because we know that, we need to start out saying which weighs more, the taste of it or the pain that I'm enduring because of
Right.
something I ate for just a short while.
Right. Right. So what kind of meal plan or exercise or whatever you can help an elderly person?
An elderly person, I want to make sure that their mobility is stable enough for them to be able to just go and exercise. First of all, I would start with stretching. Stretching is always a good thing
Mm-hmm.
for the elderly, but I need to make sure that they're able to be stable enough to do the different kinds of exercises depending on their age and medications and what they have going on, because some people their stability is not good.
Right.
If their stability is not good, then certainly I'm not going to put them on a treadmill,
Mm-hmm.
but I can do exercises where they're able to sit on the edge of a chair and just do some weight exercises with their body weight, where they're not incorporating any weight bearing exercises using weights, but they're using their own body.
As we get older, you're not as old as I am, but as we get older, our eating habits, like you were saying, 6 meals a day, our eating habits decreases.
Mm-hmm.
So when we talk about 6 meals a day, we're not doing it. We
Right.
just I don't know if it's just a mental thing or we just don't have the appetite.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you do in instances like that?
I think that a person, as they get older, and as we age out, we don't always eat as much, but
Right.
you want to make sure that the meals that you eat are good, healthy, nutritional, balanced meals
Mm-hmm.
that will take you through the day. Because sometimes a person, although they're not eating a whole lot, they're not eating a balanced meal.
Right.
They're not including all of the things on within the food chart that should be eaten throughout the day. So then they start lacking different things in their bodies, and then you start dealing with issues such as anemia and other things that's causing deficits within your body.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I think that you need to eat small portions,
Mm-hmm.
but I think you need to eat frequent meals throughout the day just to
Are we
sustain.
talking about meals? Or are we talking about snacks? Meal, snack, meal, snack.
Well, I mean, a meal to me, even with the six fuelings that I have, and I call what I do is they're called fuelings.
Mm-hmm.
You eat five fuelings and they're snacks. They're no more than 100 calories, but they fuel your body. Just
Right.
like we need gasoline to fuel a car,
Mm-hmm.
or if it's a battery operated car, we need a charge so that it can continue to go. Then you need those same things throughout the day so that your body doesn't go into a plateau and where you start getting lethargic, or where you're just no energy because you're not fueling your body in the correct way.
Right.
So even if you're choosing snacks, those snacks needs to be healthy snacks,
Right.
because a person can go get a snack and call a candy bar a snack. That's not a snack. That's not a healthy choice.
Nobody trying to call me out now.
I'm not. I'm just saying that that's just not a healthy choice for you.
Right. Right. Teresa wants to know what about when you at work all day and you can't eat the meal you need?
But you can find something to eat during the day, even if you
Mhm.
are at work. And I know that I I was in the educational setting, and we even in that setting we made sure that there were snacks for our children at
Right.
certain points during the day. And I think that same thing has to happen wherever you are, during the time that you take your break. You may not have a sit down meal, but with the fuelings that I have, they're like little bars or they're little shakes or they're little poppers like crunchers that you can eat. This is not a sit down meal, but it's something that will sustain you until it's time for you to eat your next fueling or your next meal.
Right. Wow. So what type of diet would you incorporate for someone with a autoimmune deficiency?
I have an autoimmune deficiency, and it depends on different kinds because there are over 225 autoimmune disorders.
Right.
So it just depends on the kind of autoimmune disorder that a person may have.
Mm-hmm.
The kind of autoimmune, I can only speak for myself and sharing with you the autoimmune disorder that I have is an autoimmune disorder that causes me to develop arthritis.
Mm-hmm.
And with that autoimmune disorder, and we know that with arthritis comes inflammation.
Right.
So I know that the diet that I have, I need to make sure that I'm not including uh, foods that causes my joints to get inflamed.
Mm-hmm.
So I try to stay away from cheeses and citrusy foods that may cause my inflammation to flare up.
You say seafood?
Citrusy
Oh,
foods,
oh, okay,
like
okay.
a lot of tomatoes.
Right, right.
Tomatoes are good for you, but in moderation. I
Mhm.
love cheeses of all kinds, but cheeses are a target for inflammation.
Right.
You
So
know,
no cheese at all?
no, no, I don't eliminate cheese altogether, but I eat my cheese in moderation. I
Right.
choose cheeses that are not as severe when it comes to causing inflammation. Dairy products.
Right.
So you just in the different kinds of autoimmune disorders affect people differently. So you just need to make sure that once they know the triggers
Mhm.
for that autoimmune disorder, then they need to also know the kinds of foods that are good to help to improve that autoimmune immune disorder. Like
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
berries and fruits are good
Very
for inflammation. So you just need to know what kinds of things will help.
Mm-hmm. What would you tell a person who eat out all the time?
That would have been me.
That is me.
But there are lots of choices when
Mhm.
you eat out. The only thing that when you eat out and you go to a restaurant, you need to have a list of things, foods that you can choose from at a restaurant that you're able to eat. Now, we don't know how a lot of the foods are prepared at restaurants,
Right.
but we do know that you can get a salad.
Mm-hmm.
And even with that salad that you get, you can make sure that you are choosing the condiments to go on it that are fat free, or you eat them in moderation. You can't go and get a whole cup of dressing to go on a salad. A lot of times when I order a salad, I tell them to put the cheese on the side. I'll have them to cut the croutons.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have them to put my dressing on the side. And then I drizzle my dressing
Okay.
on my salad instead of just pouring it on there or having them pour it on there. Because if they put it on there, you don't know how much they're putting on there.
Right.
Or if I ask for salmon, I have them do my salmon naked. I'll have them to cut the salt. So there are things that you can do when you go out. That way you know what you're getting,
Right.
and then you can have them to put certain seasonings on your food for you.
Right. Right.
And that'll help you with it. So even in eating out, I would choose grilled over fried.
Right.
I'll do baked. I'll cut the breads. Because a lot of times when you go to a restaurant, the first thing they do is give you a lot of breads and you fill up on those breads.
Right. Right.
Eliminate the breads, eliminate the sugars, do your salads, your green leafy vegetables, do your condiments on the side. And then by doing those things, you are removing a lot of those hidden calories.
So if we were to join in with you, we would have to show you exactly what we eat all day or what.
A person, I only do that for a person. I give them the choices, but if I see a person is not making any progress with what they're doing, then I have them show me their journal.
Okay.
And then by them showing me their journal, then I can pretty much tell what they're doing or what they're not doing.
Right.
And that makes them conscious also. And if they keep a journal of the foods that they eat, everything that they eat when they're trying to cut out lose some weight, then they are able to see, oh, I had this much of this, or I ate this. That helps them to see what they're putting into their bodies. Even on my phone, even with what I'm doing now, the plan, I go into my notes, I put the time that I eat, I write down how much water I've had for today, I write the kinds of foods that I've had, and that helps me to keep track of what I'm doing because
Right.
I didn't lose all this weight to gain it back next month.
I know that's right. I know that's right.
So you don't look, and it gives you a mindset. It gives you, you've got a change in your mindset.
Mm-hmm.
Or
Mm-hmm.
when you're looking at the menu, and a lot of menus now they have on there the calorie intake
Right.
for a meal.
Yes.
So, and because they have that helps you to decide. And even with this plan, if you are dining out, I send you a list of all of the choices of places that you can go and the kinds of foods that you can eat if you went to that restaurant. You know,
Karen Bockley says a lot of cross contaminations going on in the restaurants. So, well, the clock on the wall is telling us that we gonna have to get out of here. But if why should I choose you to be my nutritionist?
because I'm a person that's interested in helping you to get to the place that you want to get to. If you are a person seeking a nutritionist, then you know that you need help. You've decided that you can't do it by yourself. You are dependent on the person to help you. And by you choosing me, then you're making me your accountability partner. You and I will work together. And if you fail, I fail.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want to even consider a person coming and joining me and they're not successful.
Right.
Because if they're not successful, then there's something that I've not done to help them be successful. And if that means me calling you every day, and I can pretty much tell you when a person is not following the plan like they're supposed to, because they're supposed to check in with me once a week just for a conversation. And then they're supposed to have the weigh-in day on Thursday where they call and tell me what they're doing, their weight and their measurement. When I don't hear from them, that's usually a sign that they haven't done what they were supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
And when I see that, that's when I call them. And then when they choose not to answer my call, that's when I text them. And then that's when I tell them I'm going to continue to text or call you until you respond back to me contacting you.
Girl, you gonna worry me?
I want you to be successful.
It's just cute. I don't mind it.
Yeah, I do. I want you to be successful with what you're doing.
Right, right, right.
And and I have a friend, and this friend of mine, when I personal trained and I worked with her, she and I walked the track together. She was morbidly obese. And her why for me was she had gotten on a flight. They charged her for 2 seats on the plane because she was that big. And she was devastated. And she came and she's like, just help me lose the weight. And we walked and we exercised and we talked about the kinds of foods. And even after that, she lost so much weight, but she had so much excess baggage and the fat, the skin, that then she needed to go and have that corrected.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times people who have issues with their weight, they have issues with other underlying issues that they choose not to go to a counselor and other places for because it's something that they've dealt with all their life and they just hide behind it by eating
Right.
excessively.
Right. Wow. So guys, if you're interested in losing weight or exercise or whatever it is, we have tonight Phyllis Chalk, who is a coach for a coach, a nutrition coach, right?
Yes.
And she will help you out. I've seen her pictures before, and I've been knowing Phyllis for a minute. And when I saw her picture on that she placed on Facebook about her before and after, I didn't know the before part. I've always knew that after part.
Right.
Like she said, when that pandemic hit us, we did everything. We just ate because that was our comfort zone.
Right.
So her number is going across the screen, 903-720-8536. Call her, talk to her, and let's get our bodies back in shape because God wants us fit.
Yeah, our bodies are the temple of Christ.
Temple of Christ.
And God didn't put us in a shack. God has a temple for us, and He wants us to use it for His glory.
Yes, He does. I'm laughing because one of the ladies has just put on here. Oh, wait a minute, hold on. Karen just put on here. We're just trying to get your attention. Benja's my dog.
I hear him.
And you don't hear him? But
I do.
Okay. Karen hear him. Yes, he is. But I'm gonna get him after this one. And so and anyway, let's contact Phyllis. Let's get ourselves back in shape. Let's get ourselves back in order. If you don't want to go to the gym, because we don't have to go to the gym, right?
On this program, at first, initially, when you start, they would rather you not exercise because you've limited your calories. What they want you to do is focus on eating correctly and getting in the correct amount of water before you start exercising. And then once you do that and you've gotten the system down, then you can start going into the gym or exercising. The gym is not the place for everybody. Not everybody has to
and not everybody want to go to the gym. Right.
You can exercise at home and get the same results.
Right.
Some of us are just social and we like going to the gym. I'm just one of those who like going to the gym.
Right.
I like exercising. But there are some people who, if they didn't have to exercise, they wouldn't.
Right.
But exercise is important for the heart.
Right. It's
keep
good for
your heart where it needs to be.
Especially if you walk. I mean, you can walk and get that heart, pumping and everything. So I walk a lot. I even have a joined the group and we walk. So let's get ourselves back in shape, guys. Phyllis, I appreciate you coming on tonight.
Well, thank you for the invite.
Yeah, thank you for coming to Blue Table Talk. And so next week, I'm supposed to have a lawyer on to talk about family court. So, just let's keep praying for me and praying for the podcast, and that we can just accept. I like to bring people on that can help us. Because when they help you, they definitely helping me. So, and especially what Phil's talking about tonight, I appreciate that. I might give you that call.
Oh, girl, thank you so much.
I get rid of the stomach.
We all do. It's been great talking with you all. And,
Thomas says good information. Thanks, ladies. You're welcome, sweetheart. Love you, and tell the family I said hey. And we're gonna get on out here. Karen said, "You do well, Deb." And tell your husband I said hello. And
I will.
Thank you guys for coming on. If I can help somebody as I pass along this way, then I know that my living is not in vain. God bless you and keep you in my prayer. Smooch.
All right. Good night, guys. Thank you.
I'm going to exercise.